Okay, here we go. We're going to start off with double clicking on our animator icon, and the system powers up. Click on the little splash page. I go up to new, do new project, and the first thing you're going to see is obviously create new project file. It wants to save it to desktop. I'm just going to call this TUT for tutorial 1. I'm going to save it, and then it wants to bring in a model right away. But we're not going to do that yet. We're not going to bring in any models just yet. And also you can see you've got various models you can bring in: a ZBrush, a Adobe Illustrator EPS file, alias object files, CAD files, DXF, Lightwave, 3D Studio, and fact files. And your fact files are native electric image files. Alright, but we're not going to do any of those just yet. Just hit cancel, and our page opens up. And like I said, I'm not going to go through and do any real basic 3D animation tutorial. This is really just to quickly run through the basics. If you're not, you may be familiar with 3D animation and other programs. I'm just trying to give you a quick run through of electric image. So this is what you get: your 4 little views. You've got your camera view up here. You've got below that a side view, next to that is your front view, and then your top view. And also these windows are interchangeable. If you go over to the corner over here, you can do top, side, front, bottom, back. Here, maybe this might help. Let's bring this over here. You can do top, side, bottom, front, back, left. So each of these windows are interchangeable. And they also, you can set the resolution or the properties of how you want it to look. If you want to display it as an outline, wireframe, point shaded, flat, gourd, Phong. You've got all these different options, and that's pretty much true with all these, all of these. Then you've also got an animation. If you click on that, you'll see your animation move from this top angle. If you want to see how the camera moves or your objects move, you can also even do a quick render, window size or full size of this as well. And you also have, and that's just indicating your height and the width of your window. Okay, and then over here you've got your little zoom in. I'm using my mouse. I'm clicking, left clicking and dragging for my mouse. And you can also, if you hold down the space bar, you can drag within your scene around that way, or your world, whatever you want to call it, your 3D world. When you hit on the option key, you get this little finger pointing thing, which if you were to see, let me get to the camera. If you wanted to zoom in on a specific area, you just hold down the option key, left click and drag, and it brings you right into that area. If you double click on the magnifying glass, it takes you back to default. Alright, so let's look at the camera window. Let me slide this window out of our way, and let's look at the camera window. Bring that in the middle, easier to look at. And then down below here on the left-hand corner, let me just jump through these real quick. The first one is your camera options, meaning which camera is active in the camera view. You could have multiple cameras, and this allows you to jump from which camera you want to go to: camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, so forth. The next one, and when you take your mouse and go over it, it says rotoscope. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure. I looked in the manual. I wasn't too clear about it. However, when you hold down the control key and left click, you actually now get your RGB alpha, RGB plus alpha modes in how you want to see your scene. And you want to see the alpha channel only, you want to see RGB only, or you want to see RGB plus alpha only. That's the options that will allow you to see different things, or see how you see your camera view. And if you come over now to here, you'll see camera control. Just click and hold. You've got, obviously the first one is none, orbit, pan, dolly, track, and zoom. And as we go through the tutorials, I will be using these, and you'll see them in action, but you're welcome to try them out yourself. They're basically just tools to let you move about within your camera view. Next to that is your field chart, and when you click on that, it disengages your field chart. We're going to engage the field chart, and if you hold the control key down, then click, you can have grid, title safe, action safe, crosshair, and hatch line. So if you did title safe, it will show you the title safe area. If you're concerned about any broadcast type of settings, if you're broadcasting on television and you need to be concerned with the title safe area, that will help you stay keep your titles in the safe area. I'm just going to click and hold and just go back, and that's your grid. So I'm going to disengage the grid and disengage the title safe. The next one is your camera, which once again is your scene frame render. It just renders at one frame, your window size, full size. You can do selected window size or selected full size. Oh, let's cancel that. And then the other one is your shading properties, your shade mode for this particular window. As I showed you in the other window, these are pretty much the same options. And then you've got your animation button. Also, when you click on that, it'll run through whatever keyframes you've set up and show you your animation. And also, if you hold down the control key on your keyboard and then click it, it'll give you your options for your previews, your preview options window. Okay, and a couple of windows that are often used quite a bit. If you go up to Window and do your Tool Palette, I just wanted to quickly show you, these are basically your tools that you use for your animations and doing other functions that you need to do. And right now, certain parts are highlighted. If you go to World View and unclick, you'll see nothing is highlighted. Depending on what you click on, this will change. I'm not going to go into all the details of what each function is right now, but basically the first three is your movement, your translate, X, Y, and Z. This is your rotate, and that's your scale. You've got your zoom, your drag. If you click on this, which I just showed you just a little while ago, but these other items we'll go into later. That's your tools. The next important window is your project window. And the project window is quite extensive. I'm not going to go through everything right now. I'm going to do a separate tutorial for that. But this is basically your window where you will be building your keyframes and timing out your animations.